Alexander the Great didn't just conquer the world, he monetized it. But what the history books miss is the audit discrepancy. After Persepolis burned, the official inventory listed 120,000 talents of gold captured. Yet Alexander's campaigns continued to be funded as if they had limitless wealth. The math never added up. Until I found the warehouse receipt. In the National Museum of Afghanistan in Kabul, among the Bactrian hoard artifacts, was a clay tablet that didn't belong. Catalogued as Hellenistic administrative fragment, it was written not in Greek, but in Imperial Aramaic, the Persian administrative language Alexander kept using, and it was a transfer order. By order of Alexander, son of Philip, king of Macedon and heir of Persia. 40,000 talents of refined gold bullion transferred from Persepolis treasury to secure storage in the Valley of Stone Elephants, to be guarded by those who know the mountain's heartbeat. The seal is the conqueror's silence. 40,000 talents. That's 1.2 million kilograms of gold. A third of Persepolis total, hidden, not stolen, strategically relocated. The Valley of Stone Elephants could only be one place, the Salt Range of modern Pakistan, where Pleistocene-era rock formations resemble herds of stone elephants. Specifically, the Kura salt mines region, known since antiquity. The hunt for Alexander, $75 billion diverted conquest gold, had begun with a filing error in a war-torn museum. Clue 1. The mountain's heartbeat. The Kura mines aren't just salt, they're a geological symphony. Underground aquifers flow through salt seams, creating natural resonances that can be heard through the rock. The mountain's heartbeat. But which of dozens of ancient mine tunnels? The clue said, guarded by those who know. Not people, those. Perhaps carvings? Local legend speaks of Alexander's guard carved in a side chamber. I explored abandoned tunnels with Pakistani geologists. In a sealed-off section from the Mughal era, we found it. A relief carving of a Macedonian soldier, but with Indian features, holding a spear pointing downward. Beneath the carving, the floor was different, not salt rock, but fitted limestone. A false floor. Removing it revealed a vertical shaft descending into blackness. Not a natural formation, engineered. The air that rose was bone-dry and smelled of dust, not salt. Salt mines preserve. Perfect for gold. Clue 2. The conqueror's silence. The seal is the conqueror's silence. Alexander famously lost his voice for days after killing his friend Clytus in a drunken rage. His silence was a historical event. But how to make silence a key? Perhaps a frequency absence. I swept the shaft with audio sensors. At exactly 22 hertz, the threshold of human hearing, almost inaudible, there was a dead zone. No resonance. Something was absorbing that frequency. At the bottom of the shaft, 30 meters down, a corridor led to a bronze door. Not decorated, just smooth, mirror-polished bronze now dulled with age. On it, a single word in Greek, sigi, sige, silence. No handle, no keyhole. But at the center, a circular depression with a spiral pattern. I placed my hand on it. Nothing. Then I remembered. Frequency. Using a tone generator, I projected 22 hertz at the door. The bronze vibrated. Dust fell. The spiral pattern began to rotate, not mechanically, but through acoustic resonance. The door wasn't locked. It was tuned. After 3 minutes of sustained frequency, the door split down the middle and slid into the walls. The conqueror's silence wasn't a metaphor. It was a soundproof lock. Clue 3. The Persian accountant's revenge. The chamber beyond was not what I expected. It wasn't a treasure room. It was an accounting office. Stone desks held clay tablets, thousands of them. Abacus boards with stone counters, weighing scales of exquisite precision, and scribes' skeletons, seated at their posts, wrapped in simple woolen cloaks. These weren't Macedonian soldiers. They were Persian bureaucrats, left here to guard what they had once managed. Alexander hadn't just taken Persian gold. He'd taken the Persian Treasury Department. One skeleton held a stylus and an unfinished tablet. The last entry, in shaky Aramaic. Year 6 of the foreign king's reign, The inventory is complete. 40,000 talents accounted. The mountain is sealed. We have done our duty. May Ahura Mazda forgive us for serving the conqueror. We guard the wealth of kings we never knew. They'd been left here to die. A horrifying efficiency. Permanent security through ultimate loyalty. Beyond the office was the vault. The door here was simpler, iron bars, but they weren't locked. They were welded shut by primitive thermite, a mixture of iron oxide and aluminum powder that the ancients could have made from bauxite and magnetite. Once sealed, only cutting could open it. We cut. The sparks flew in the ancient dark. Clue 4. The divided empire. The vault was a cavern, naturally formed but enlarged, and it was full, not with chests or piles, with stacks. Gold bars in uniform size, each stamped with 3 seals, the Macedonian star, the Persian Faravahar, and the Aramaic letter Aleph, for Alexander. They were arranged not randomly, but in sections. Section 1, gold from Egyptian temples, still had hieroglyphic markings underneath. Section 2, gold from Persian palaces, lion and bull motifs. Section 3, gold from Indian kingdoms, lotus flower stamps. Section 4, newly minted bars from combined sources, Alexander's vision of a unified currency. But the true revelation was at the cavern's center. A stone plinth holding a single object. A golden cylinder the size of a man's arm, covered in cuneiform, Elamite, Greek, and Sanskrit. Alexander's multilingual proclamation: "This wealth is not for me. It is for the world that comes after. Let it be known that Alexander, son of Philip, took the gold of nations not to hoard, but to hold in trust. When the nations are one, this gold will fund their unity. Until then, let it sleep. The mountain remembers what kings forget." This wasn't a war chest, it was an endowment. Alexander's mad, brilliant vision, a global reserve currency backed by this physical gold, hidden until the world was ready for unity. He wasn't looting, he was central banking. The gold that would have changed history. The discovery triggered an international incident. Pakistan, Iran, India, Egypt, and Greece all claimed parts. UNESCO mediated. The gold was extracted over 2 years. The weight was precisely as recorded. 40,000 talents, 1.2 million klr, 75 billion at today's prices. But the valuation missed the point. This gold represented 5% of all the gold mined in human history up to that point. Alexander had literally pulled a significant portion of the ancient world's monetary base out of circulation and hidden it. If this gold had remained in circulation, the economic history of the Hellenistic world would have been completely different. No currency devaluation, no economic collapse after Alexander's death. Perhaps a stable unified economy could have emerged. The gold today is held by the International Monetary Fund in a special trusteeship, ironically fulfilling Alexander's vision of a global reserve. Replicas are displayed in museums worldwide. For me, the discovery revealed Alexander not as a mad conqueror, but as history's first globalist. He didn't see gold as wealth to spend, but as economic leverage to force unity. By controlling the monetary base, he could control empires. The real treasure wasn't the gold. It was understanding that Alexander's failure wasn't military or political. It was temporal. He was 2,300 years ahead of his time. He hid the gold not for himself, but for a unified world that wouldn't exist for millennia. A trust fund for civilization, with no beneficiary yet born. For 23 centuries, that gold sat in a salt mountain, guarded by dead accountants, waiting for a world ready to spend it wisely. It still waits. Because $75 billion could change the world today, just as Alexander dreamed. But we, like his successors, would probably just fight over it.